You're listening to Keith Sports News. Alright guys, hello. How y'all doing? Welcome to KSN episode, I gotta change that, 23. There we go. Happy Friday. So, how you guys doing? I'm doing well. I hope you are as well. Alright. So, there's not too much to talk about based on what I know and what I saw for the past couple of days, which isn't much, but I will talk about those topics. Alright. So, let me check the ESPN notifications. I do got some notifications here, mainly for baseball. Alright. So, I talked about this in the last episode. Garrett Cole, Yankees pitcher, out for the season. He is really getting Tommy John surgery. It takes like a whole year to recover from that. And, you know, it seems like if you watch baseball, if you follow baseball for years, it seems like every great pitcher gets this surgery at least once in their career. Some of them get it 2 times, which is crazy. And it seems like it's normal. This is like normal now to pitchers, getting this surgery. You know, it's crazy. The way they throw that baseball so hard, so fast, different kinds of speeds, different kinds of pitches. It's crazy. Crazy. Left-handers, right-handers. Then you got the batters that can somehow swing and hit those pitches. Baseball's crazy, let me tell you. Them doing that, ugh. So, but I mentioned this is kind of like normal, because there are other pitchers that I know that had this surgery. A couple years ago, Justin Verlander, I think he had this surgery 2 times. Speaking of Justin Verlander, he is actually still pitching. He is on the San Francisco Giants. They signed him a 1-year deal. And I think it was like last week or the week before, he was on one of my favorite sports talk shows, which is the Dan Patrick Show. And he basically says he thinks he still has it in him. I believe he's 42 years old. That's old for a pitcher. A lot of pitchers don't go that long, you know. Yeah, guess we'll see how he does, you know. He was on the Detroit Tigers for many years. And then he joined the Houston Astros, the golden era for that team. And now he's on the San Francisco Giants. When he was on the Detroit Tigers, there was another pitcher who is still playing, who is still pitching, Max Scherzer. He's well known for his time with the Detroit Tigers and the Washington Nationals. Okay. Then he went to the Texas Rangers, I believe. Yeah. And now he's on the Toronto Blue Jays. You know, isn't that weird? He's on the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll see how the Blue Jays do this season. So, yeah. It's kind of strange. Him on the Blue Jays, Verlander with the Giants, and they both won 2 World Series, but unfortunately, none of them were with the Detroit Tigers. You know, Justin Verlander, he won 2 World Series with the Houston Astros, 2017 and 2022. And Max Scherzer, he won 2 World Series, one with the Washington Nationals in 2019, against Justin Verlander and the Houston Astros, and with the Texas Rangers in 2023. What if the World Series is the Toronto Blue Jays against the San Francisco Giants? If that's the World Series, I am going to cheer for the Toronto Blue Jays, mainly because I get the Toronto or the Canadian sports channels, and they would talk about mainly Toronto sports, because Toronto, they got the Toronto Raptors in the NBA, Toronto Blue Jays of the MLB, the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NHL, and the Toronto Argonauts of the CFL, Canadian football. So they got 4 pro major sports. Toronto is the biggest city in the country of Canada, you know. And at first I thought TSN stood for Toronto Sports Network, because their headquarters, I believe their studios are in Toronto. But no, TSN actually stands for the Sports Network. I guess that makes sense, because the Sports Network is really my favorite sports network, even though I live nowhere near Canada. I love the Canadian version, Sports Center, more than the American version. And since I have those channels, that's how I became a fan of the CFL, Canadian Football League. So yeah, that's really the channel where I would get my sports news and highlights, mainly for hockey, because Canada, they love hockey, you know. The American version, they don't really talk much about hockey. They did talk about the Four Nations Face-Off. I did like that, because at the time, the Four Nations Face-Off was the biggest thing happening in sports. They weren't competing with the NBA. The NBA was in their All-Star break at the time, at least during most of the Four Nations Face-Off. So, yeah. So, opening day for the MLB is on March 27th, on a Thursday. Okay? I'll try to watch, I think ESPN will have 2 games. The first one in the afternoon between the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Yankees. That's the game that Joe Buck will be calling. Yeah, Joe Buck returning to baseball. That'll be great. And then that night will be the Los Angeles Dodgers. I forgot who are they facing. Let me look that up right now. Okay. It's kind of a shame. This is the last year MLB will be hosting, or ESPN will be broadcasting MLB games. So March 27th. Oh, wow. I think every team is playing on that date. Okay. Oh, it's the Detroit Tigers against the LA Dodgers. That's a weird one, because, it's an American League team versus a National League team. There is 30 MLB teams, so there's 15 on each leagues. So I guess, at some point, if every team's playing, on the same day, then you're gonna have to have at least one. They call it interleague, meaning an American League team playing against a National League team. I think I mentioned this before, I'll say it again. I don't like, how 2 years ago they made all these changes, the pitch clock, bigger bases, and the stupid ghost runner rule and the extra innings. I really don't like that. And that's the main reason why I don't really watch MLB games much. But I still want to know what happened, what's going on throughout the season. That's why I listen to Baseball Tonight with Buster Olney, the Michael Kay show, who is the voice of the Yankees on television, and of course Christopher Mad Dog Russo. So, I don't like, another thing that I don't like is every team is playing against all the teams. So I live in South Louisiana. The closest team is the Houston Astros. That's why I like that team. I wish that team well. They have to play every team. They're an American League team. Although they used to be a National League team for many, many years until 2013, I believe. 2013, I believe, was when they finally switched to the American League side. The reason why they did that was because they want to make the divisions all equal, even, same number of teams in all the divisions. That makes sense. So, but it'll be weird when the Houston Astros has to face the New York Mets if the game is in New York, or if they have to face I'm trying to think of it. I don't know, the Colorado Rockies in Colorado, Milwaukee in Milwaukee, because those are National League teams. Also, 2 teams will be playing in minor league ballparks this year. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but it just popped in my head. That's why I'm mentioning this. The Oakland Athletics, or the Oakland A's as we most call them, and the Tampa Bay Rays. The A's and the Rays. That's funny. So the reason why the Tampa Bay Rays are playing in a minor league ballpark this year is because their venue, Tropicana Field, the roof got ripped off, basically, because of a terrible hurricane that occurred, I think it was in October. But the Tampa Bay Rays were not in the playoffs last year. What if they were? Like, what if they were in the World Series last year? Would they be playing in Miami, Atlanta? You can't, obviously not in the minor league ballpark, but I don't know. Tropicana Field, that is one joke of a baseball stadium or baseball venue. And now you have no stadium. They're finally building a new stadium, but it's going to take like 2 more years, I think. So they have no choice but to play outdoors in a minor league ballpark during the hot summer heat. That sucks for their fans. And for the Oakland A's, the reason why they're playing in a minor league stadium in Sacramento, California, is because they are no longer playing in the Oakland Coliseum. Last year they announced that this will be their final year at the Coliseum. That Coliseum, that's also a joke of a stadium, but that, I don't know which stadium's worse, that stadium or the Tropicana Field in Tampa. The problem with Tropicana Field in Tampa is because is that the roof is not high enough. Sometimes players would hit the baseball, it would touch the roof or the catwalks. That's an issue. The problem with Oakland Stadium is that they shared the same stadium with the Oakland Raiders of the NFL before they moved to Vegas. It's a weird shape of a stadium. So the A's announced that they'll be moving to Vegas in a couple of years. Yeah, Vegas, they're building a new stadium. They have the money. Too bad Oakland doesn't have the money. I guess we're going to say goodbye to the Oakland Coliseum. That stadium's like 60 years old, I think. It was built in the mid-60s, I believe. So it is time to make a change. But they're going to be playing in Sacramento. That's going to be weird. We'll see how many fans will show, how many of their fans will go. And the Rays have to play the A's in one of their ballparks, especially because they're both in the American League. So, we shall see. And also, I believe, yes, they are still having this. In a couple of days from now, the LA Dodgers will be facing the Chicago Cubs in 2 games in Tokyo. Tuesday, March 18 at 5:10 a.m. Central Time, and Wednesday as well. Is it going to be at the Tokyo Dome? I think it's going to be at the Tokyo Dome. Tokyo Dome, they always host the World Baseball Classic. Yep, it's going to be at the Tokyo Dome. That's a cool place. And, that's interesting. It's on Fox and FS1. Normally, ESPN would be broadcasting those games, because last year there was like two games, and I believe it was in South Korea, and they were both broadcasted on ESPN. 5:10 a.m. I never wake up that early, so I'm most likely I'm gonna miss those games, but I can watch the highlights. They have a YouTube channel. That's weird. Fox and FS1. So is Joe Davis and John Smoltz, are they going to be the announcers? I guess the answer is yes. I don't like the MLB on Fox anymore. I used to like it. It used to be amazing. Now it kind of sucks. Especially after Joe Buck left. It makes me miss Joe Buck on Fox, but it is what it is. So, that's in a few days. Wednesday and Thursday. LA Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs, and it's going to be sold out. Because they're here to see one man. Well, maybe a few, but mainly one person, Shohei Ohtani, because he's from Japan. He won the World Baseball Classic in 2023 for Team Japan. Next year is the World Baseball Classic. And one of the venues is in Houston. I might actually go to a game. I've been to the Houston ballpark a couple of times, but it's been almost 8 years since I last gone to a game. Unfortunately, it's no longer called Minute Maid Park. It's called Daikin Park. Yeah, so this is really like a new era for the Houston Astros. I hate to say this, but I think their golden era is over. They were really good from 2017 to 2023. I don't count 2020 because it was the COVID year, but they were really good for, 6 seasons in a row. They were in the American League Championship Series from 2017 to 2023. All those years consecutively. It's amazing. That's not easy, The Atlanta Braves did the same thing back in the 90s. They were in the National League Championship Series, I think like 8 years in a row or something like that. They were like the best team. So, and because I'm not a huge fan of the MLB like I was years ago before they made these changes, I'm not going to be watching much games. I think a lot of people will watch it at the beginning of the season because it's opening week. But then, when April goes by, I think a lot of people won't be watching it as much until the All-Star break and then August, September, because, it's the road to the postseason. I'm speaking to the fans that are not big-time baseball fans. But obviously, big-time baseball fans, they'll stay the whole 6 months of the regular season. So, but yeah, like I said, I still want to know what's going on during the season. That's why I listen to these sports talk shows. And I mentioned Michael Kay. I want to apologize. The last episode, I accidentally said Michael Cole. Michael Cole is the WWE announcer. I meant to say Michael Kay. Okay? Maybe I said Michael Cole because, Michael Kay, Cole for Garrett Cole, the pitcher. I think I got mixed up. But yeah. Michael Kay, I was listening to his show the other day. He was basically saying the same thing I was thinking about. This is basically normal for big-time pitchers getting this Tommy John surgery. It's a shame. Unfortunately, it's Garrett Cole's turn to have that surgery. I think another pitcher that I know had this surgery, Jacob deGrom. He used to pitch for the New York Mets, and then he went to the Texas Rangers. Is he still on the Texas Rangers? Let me look him up. He's 36. He's getting a little older now. Okay, he's still with the Texas Rangers. He's a big guy. Yep. A lot of these big pitchers, a lot of these great pitchers, they're big guys too. Shohei Ohtani, he's also a pitcher. He's going to come back, but I think he's going to miss the first month. I think he'll be back in May of this year. So, listen, the LA Dodgers are the favorite to win the World Series again. I think they will. They might. it's not easy picking your World Series pick because, a lot of injuries happen. It seems like a lot of injuries happen nowadays. Um, we'll see how the Yankees do without Garrett Cole. Um, yeah. Also, speaking of the Michael K show, sometimes when I find certain parts of the show, or really any show, funny, I would like screen record that part of the show and keep it. And I did 2 videos. And I didn't upload them to YouTube yet because I want to know, for the people that do actually follow this channel, should I upload those videos on this channel, Keith Sports News, or on my main channel, Eric Super Magnificent? Like I said, I have 2 videos that I would like to upload them, or should I do one for each? I don't know, because my main channel is mainly vlogging and gaming. I don't really do much talking videos, just me talking to the webcam. I mean, I'll do some channel updates from time to time, but I try to do some sports talk videos, but it seems like no one really cared about that. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do this on a separate channel. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my main channel subscribers the same question, and then maybe I'll upload those videos this weekend or next week. Anyways, I heard Coco Gauff in tennis got injured, so she lost, I believe, to Belinda Bencic from Switzerland. The Indian Wells is currently happening. Unfortunately, I'm missing all of it. Yeah, the finals is this weekend. I'll try to watch the finals depending on who's in the finals. If not, then if it's 2 players that I don't really care much about, then I won't watch it. However, this weekend I am a little busy. I do have some plans. If you watch my main channel, this weekend is the St. Patrick's Day parade, and every year I go to that parade and do a big video of that. So I don't know what time the finals is. I don't know if it's during the day or during night, because sometimes the finals are during the daytime, sometimes it's during nighttime. I'll have to look. But next week, I believe, is the Miami Open, and I usually follow that every year. It's interesting. Miami Open in Hard Rock Stadium. Yeah, they have courts in Hard Rock Stadium. Hard Rock Stadium's the home of the Miami Hurricanes and the Miami Dolphins of American football. So, I'll see. And then I'll listen. One of my favorite sports talk shows it's mainly a tennis show called Holding Court with Patrick McEnroe on Sirius XM. I believe he's at Indian Wells. So it's weird because his show, if you can listen to his show live every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Central, that's really early. But luckily, you don't have to listen to it live. You can listen to it on demand at any time with no commercials. So that's the best part about SiriusXM. The thing about SiriusXM is you have to pay monthly. But I guess it is worth it to me because I still like using it. So, yeah. So, he'll give me some more tennis news during this time of the year. Alright. Anything else I want to talk about before I get to this last part? March Madness, yes. Basketball, college basketball. This Sunday is Selection Sunday. And I thought last Sunday was Selection Sunday, but no, it's this upcoming Sunday. And I mentioned SiriusXM. One of my favorites is Mad Dog Christopher Russo. He's going to do like a special show of him talking about, on Selection Sunday, of him talking about the teams that are going to March Madness, the matchups, and all that. I don't know what time that starts, but I might listen to that live. I don't know. But I don't really watch that show. I don't really watch Selection Sunday show anyways. I'm not a big basketball fan in general, but every year I do my March Madness bracket. So I guess on Monday, I will fill out my bracket as I talk. Give you all my predictions, I guess. I might. Um, or I could do an actual video on my main channel. I don't know. Should I do it? Should I do it like that? If anyone's listening right now, should I do a March Madness bracket prediction video of me showing you my picks? And if I do that, should I upload it on my main channel or on here? Or don't do it, but just talk about it like I'm talking to the webcam. I don't know. Every year I do Bowl Mania. Bowl Mania is the college football challenge for the Bowl Mania, the bowl games in December and a little bit of January. I'm more into that. I have more fun with that than March Madness. March Madness is so hard because March Madness, it's a bracket. It's one giant bracket. If you get this game wrong, that means you're most likely going to get the next game wrong. For example, let's say the first round is, I don't know. My father, he's an Arkansas fan because he went to Arkansas for college, and he told me that Arkansas got eliminated in the SEC tournament, but I think they still have enough to go to March Madness. And if they go to March Madness, they're going to have to play a big-time team. So what if they play, let's say Arkansas plays Duke, and somehow Arkansas wins, and I have Duke going to the Final Four, Yeah, it messes up your bracket, pretty much. It's so hard, but I like doing it. Anyways, I don't know. I don't do that. I don't do a prediction bracket challenge video every year. I might do it this year, I might not. And if I don't do it, then I'll talk about it on Monday's episode of KSN. Alright, one last thing I want to talk about is I got 2 comments from 5Tayer. Thank you, 5Tayer, for your comments here. And I'm going to read what he says and give you my thoughts. I like reading your comments. Okay, so he commented on my last episode. He did 2 comments. The first one says, I am looking forward to the UFL, which is the United Football League, the Spring Football League. And that starts the last Friday of March, I believe, so 2 weeks from now. It says, I'm looking forward to the UFL as I previously mentioned, but I probably won't be watching any games until around April, as March Madness will be taking over my schedule for the whole time. The one exception might be the first game of the season. We shall see. I will be watching MLB opening day, though. Then he also says, but then I will not be able to watch too many UFL games once the NBA and NHL playoffs begin, as I'll be watching most of those games, but I'll definitely try my best to watch games considering everything else in sports going on. I totally understand. Because really, if you are a sports fan in general like me, playoffs, they're important. They are. Playoffs, I know, right? Yeah, they are important. And here is the problem with the MLB season, okay? For the people that sometimes watch baseball games like me, but not big-time baseball fans. By the time the MLB season starts, we have March Madness going on. And then not too long after that, we have the NBA and NHL playoffs beginning, and that lasts 2 months because every series is best of 7. In the month of May, you have horse racing, the Triple Crown, Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, You got the Indianapolis 500. You got the French Open tennis. That's also in May, beginning on Memorial Day, or the Sunday before Memorial Day. Oh, also you got the Masters in golf in April, but I'm not a golf fan. And then in June, you got the Belmont Stakes. We got the NBA Finals, the NHL Stanley Cup Final. And You got Wimbledon, tennis, the biggest tournament of the year. That starts in late June. You probably have another golf tournament. I think it's the U.S. Open or the British Open. You know. And then July, you'll have July, not much going on. Yeah. Because, you have the MLB All-Star Game, Home Run Derby, But yeah, a lot of these big sporting events, they take place during the MLB season. That's the problem. MLB is right in the middle of all these events. And then in September, by the time football season starts, college football, National Football League, in September, but by the time the season starts, that's when MLB season gets good. Because the MLB season, they're getting closer to the playoffs. That's the problem, if you're, sports fans in general. But there are some people that would mainly follow one sport. Yeah. But since I listen to a lot of sports talk, they talk about different sports. Because I find that interesting. And that's what led me to do this KSN episode. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching, or listening. And have a great weekend. I guess I'll see you on St. Paddy's Day. Yeah, that's right. St. Paddy's Day is on a Monday. See you then. Enjoy, basketball fans, enjoy Selection Sunday. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Keith Sports News.